What's up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about the strategy that I use every single day to make an extra income in the stock market. So please pay attention. We have a jam-packed video for you today with all the information, all the things that you need in order to be successful with the strategy and be profitable with this strategy. So without further ado, this is not financial advice. I'm just really explaining to you today what strategy I use every single day to make an extra income in the stock market. First and foremost, what is a strategy? A strategy is called a strategy because it can be repeated over and over and over again. In trading, I see it as a set of rules and confirmations that need to be checked out before entering a trade. Without following these rules, breaking the rules always results in losses, always results in consequences, right? So the consequence of breaking these trading rules will result in losses. So you want to make sure that you follow the rules to the exact T, and you got to be real picky about what you're looking at, what trades to take. Like, I used to just chase the trends and try to chase that trade because it's taking off or it's dumping, and it's not about chasing it. It's about waiting for your confirmations to play out and present themselves before entering that trade. And so this strategy has a few, very few rules in order for you to learn to identify that presentation, right? To identify that setup in order for you to enter that trade. And so the strategy that I use every single day to make an extra income is called the break and retest strategy. But the break and retest of what, you say? Well, let me show you what that looks like. But first, I'm going to show you the rules. This is the checklist and the rules that I follow before entering the trade. First and foremost, I look to see if the stock chart is bullish or bearish. Bullish meaning the trend is going to the upside, or bearish if the trend is going to the downside. If the stock is trending upward, you want to look for buys. You're looking for calls, meaning buys, and you're betting on the stock to continue going higher, right? If the chart is bearish, meaning the trend is going downward, you're looking for sells, or puts, meaning you're waiting or you're betting for the stock to continue going down. And that's the beauty of options trading. Options trading allows you to trade to the upside and trade to the downside. Excuse me. So with this opportunity of options trading, it has allowed me to not only buy low and sell high like buying regular stocks do, but it has allowed me to trade on a downtrend when stocks start to pull back or there's a market crash. Options has allowed me to be able to even trade and make money to the downside with options trading and this strategy. So with the checklist, first and foremost is checking to see if the stock is pumping up for buys or dumping for sells. Then you wait for a 5-minute close. We're looking at the 5-minute time frame here. The 5-minute candle has to close above pre-market high. Once we get that confirmation, then we wait for a retest. So we wait for a 5-minute close above pre-market high, or we wait for a 5-minute close below pre-market low. I'm going to show you guys on the next slides how that visually looks like, so you can start marking your zones, marking your levels of the pre-market highs and the pre-market lows. Once we get confirmation of that 5-minute close above pre-market high, we know that we are trending to the upside and we are looking for buys. So if we break a 5-minute close under pre-market low, we know that we are trending downward and we are looking for sells. So we wait for the retest of the pre-market high or the pre-market low, and that is our entry on our retest zones. So once we wait for that retest, that is our entry. You don't necessarily have to wait for a candle to close when we start getting that retest. you can start entering that position as soon as it taps in to the pre-market high or the pre-market low. You can start entering position there and ride the wave. But when you enter that position, you must, and this is the most important part, you must know your stop loss. You must know your stop. For me, since we are retesting that pre-market high or retesting that pre-market low, a 5-minute close back inside the pre-market zones is my stop loss. And again, I will show you guys what that looks like on the next slides. Now, where will I take profit? Once we enter that position on the tests, we take profit at the opening range high and on new highs. So let's go to the next slide. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like in a line chart here. As you can see, we have a line chart with the highs and the lows. We mark our zones here. So this is the pre-market high and this is the pre-market low. We wait for a break. This green candle here shows a break above pre-market high, right? Then we come back down and we start testing that zone. This is here is our entry, and we ride the wave back to the upside. On the next screen here, we are having that break to the downside. Again, this is our pre-market high and we pre-market low. We mark our zones and we wait for that break. In this example here, we break to the downside, we wait for a retest, and then we continue down. These are the two examples on a line chart that I have. They're not perfect. These, like, you gotta understand, this is just an example, right? But you gotta understand that when it comes down to the actual stock chart, it's gonna look crazy. Like, the candles are just gonna be all over the place, but you gotta learn to identify these highs and these lows, right? That's how you mark those zones. And all we have to do now is just be patient and wait for either or to break for you to start identifying the setup. And then we wait for that retest to identify the entry. So on the next slide here is going to be the example with an actual chart. As you can see here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. We got our pre-market area. This yellow zone here, this whole yellow zone is our pre-market area. We mark our zones. This is pre-market high and pre-market low. As you can see, I already marked the zones and I put the arrows in there for you guys to identify that. Now, this white zone is market open. The market opens up at 6:30 in the morning. That's Pacific time. And we wait for either or to break. If it breaks above pre-market high, then we wait for a retest to the pre-market high. If it breaks below pre-market low, then we wait for a retest to pre-market low. So as you can see here, we have a 5-minute, huge 5-minute candle here. This green candle here closes above this pre-market high, right? Cool. We got check one. We closed above pre-market high. Now what's next? Our next checklist is you wait for the retest of pre-market high or pre-market low. We wait for that entry. So you saw the 5-minute close above pre-market high. This next red candle here is a 5-minute candle that comes all the way down, and it literally goes all the way down here. As you can see, it goes all the way down here. And then what happens? Buyers step in and we come all the way back up and we close above pre-market high. That is more than enough confirmation for you to understand that buyers are in, they're in control, and we are going to the upside. So we enter position. As soon as it starts tapping into this area, we start entering position, and our stop loss has to be a body close below this zone. So if we get a candle like this red one here, this is the body of a candle. These little sticks here are called wicks. If we get a body close under that line, you are automatically stopped out. You have to get out of your position for a small loss. Again, we have to know our stop, and that is very important to know because that's what's going to keep you profitable and in the game long term. We got to think years from now. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're thinking you want to get rich quick, this is not for you. You got to think, I want to stay in this game long term and be consistent and be disciplined, because this is going to be an income that no one can take away from you once you learn this skill. You can literally do this anywhere in the world. You can be on vacation doing this, and learning this skill is going to teach you that. But you got to be disciplined and think long term, or you will lose all your money. So you stop out if we get a body close under that pre-market zone. Since in this example, it never closed underneath, we held position. Yes, it wicked down again on this next green candle. It wicked down again. We did go on a little bit of a drawdown, meaning we saw some negative numbers, but it never closed. Then we get buyers stepping in again, and we pump up. Where do we take our profits? We take our profits targeting these highs here, these body highs of the 5-minute opening range. And you can also take your profits here at the high wicks of the opening range. So as you can see here on TP1 means take profit 1. As soon as this next candle tapped in to this body high, we start trimming profits. So let's say you bought 10 contracts, you can sell half of your position. You can sell 5 contracts here, which is options contracts, and then we can start taking profits at the new high of day here at TP2, which is take profit 2. You can sell either 4 more contracts and leave 1 runner, or you can sell your full position at this new high. So if you have 10 contracts, you will sell 5 here at TP1, and then you would sell the other 5 here at TP2 for your full profit taking. Now, I hope you guys can see the example pretty clearly to understand the setup and be patient for the setup. As you can see on our pre-market zones, it's just bouncing up and down, up and down. When the market opens, we wait for that break above or below pre-market highs or lows. We wait for the retest, we enter position, and we ride the wave to the upside. Now I'm gonna give you guys one more chart. Here is an example of the break and retest of the pre-market low. So this yellow zone again is our pre-market zone. We mark our high and we mark our low, right? We have to be patient and wait for this setup to present itself in order to enter this trade. So our first setup is the break below pre-market low. So I'm gonna zoom in here. This red candle here closed below pre-market low, right? This green candle here is the next 5-minute candle. We come up and it doesn't necessarily touch the the pre-market high. It doesn't necessarily tap into the pre-market low, but we see the rejections here on the wicks. We can see there's a wick here. That means sellers are still in control after this massive dump, right? Sellers are still in control, so we enter our position here at these wicks. Where is that stop loss? Our stop loss will be back inside this pre-market low zone. If we get a green candle to come back into this green zone here and it closes there, then we are stopped out. It never does that, and our next 5-minute candle gives us a nice solid dump to the downside. TP1 is our new low of day, and TP2, which is your runners, will continue going lower, and you can take profits as you please. And this is another low of day here at this wick. So you can, let's say you have 10 contracts you buy here, your stop loss is back inside the zone. Never does that, so you ride it down, take profits at new low of day, which is from 10 contracts you go down to 5 or 8, however many you feel like selling, or You can even keep the whole full position and let it go as far as it can. But I like taking profits because I like to secure my day. So we take profits here and we take profits at TP2 to a new low of day. I like securing profits because yes, we can create a new low of day, but guess what? What if the next candle just becomes this massive green candle back to the upside? You just lost everything, right? You want to make sure that you secure your profits and get your money and run. You feel me? Like, you just want to get your money and run. You'll be done for the day. You're talking about 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes of market open. That's how long you had to wait, just 20 minutes of market open for this setup to present itself. And then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes on literally profit taking for full profits, full secure profits. It took you 25 minutes, and however much you put in, whatever percentage that was, that's your return. So like, let's say you put $1,000 in that entry and you hit 40% all the way down here to TP2, that's $400 in 25 minutes. Like, that's the power of trading there and being consistent and disciplined in the strategy. So again, we get that break below pre-market low. We get this green candle here to retest. We enter position and we write it down. And our stop loss is always back inside the pre-market low zone. So again, I just want to go over the checklist. Is a stock chart bearish or bullish? Meaning you're looking for buys or you're looking for sells. You wait for a 5-minute close above pre-market high. You wait for a 5-minute close below pre-market low. Then we wait for the retest to the pre-market high or the retest to the pre-market low, and that is your entry. Know your stop loss. You have to know your stop, and that is for me, that's a 5-minute close back inside the pre-market zones. And our take profits are at new high of days or at the opening range high of days. Another take profit is a low of days or the new low of days. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and can identify the strategy that I use every single day to make an extra income in the stock market. I literally won't trade this strategy for anything else. Like, this strategy is what's made me profitable.